like a soap opera. Yeah, only better. Hey everybody, I'm Catherine and welcome to New Adult 101. So I recently watched a video review of a YouTuber, well, booktuber, on BookTube, about a new adult book, specifically like a series. And something that was said in the video just kind of like irked me. The booktuber said that, if you're not really sure about new adult, this series isn't a good place to start. And I'm biased, I'm not gonna lie. It was a series that I love, by an author that I love, and I was just like, how much new adult have you actually read? Because that is basically the quintessential new adult book. So, that's where this video came from. I'm here to enlighten you on exactly what new adult is. In my opinion. You could have your own, who knows. So new adult basically is, I don't even know how to put it, like a subgenre? I wouldn't call it its own genre. It's like a subgenre of contemporary. Well, maybe it could be its own genre. The fact is that new adult pretty much seems to only encompass contemporary books. There are exceptions. And of course, now I lost my train of thought. From my experience, new adult books are primarily contemporary romance full of drama and sex. That encompasses the larger version of what new adult is. There are kind of like little trickles following off into more of the paranormal, a little bit of the science fiction, but for the most part, the grand amount of new adult is contemporary. Generally, you're dealing with a female main character or a duo perspective between a female and a male. They really gear this towards lady readers, I'm not gonna lie. I have yet to really experience ones that it was like, guy, all the time. So basically, new adult encompasses the world of the main character when they're anywhere between like 18 to 19 years old to pretty much like 27. It's that age period of a person's life where like they're out of high school or they're just finishing high school, they're going off to college, they're kind of just finishing college, they're doing their master's or something. So it is that like bridging gap between like what people would consider new adult and what people would consider like adult. There are, of course, a lot of what could be classified as new adult books within the adult area as well. Since new adult especially is such a new idea and concept, there are, of course, going to be books that are in the romance section or the science fiction section or even just the general fiction section of a bookstore that fall into this because people just don't know, or they're older and they don't realize that this technically would be new adult. So definitely don't judge a book by its cover. Read the book. Check it out. And a lot of times I find if you are stuck trying to find a new adult book to read, always check the covers because they're going to be blurbed by another new adult author, it seems. So it's always a good way to kind of like figure stuff out that way. For example, so White Trash Beautiful by Teresa Mummert is blurbed by Molly McAdams, who is quite a large new adult author. Like her books are gaining in a lot of popularity. I have quite a few. Megan, you actually have one of my books of hers. By the way, you return it next time I see you. Honestly, even for me, that's a lot of times how I discover new adult authors who, it's their first or second book out on the market. They get blurbed by like Cora Carmack, Jennifer L. Armentrout, Abby Glines, like all of these, Colleen Hoover. These are ones where, they get blurbed by them and I'm like, oh, I really like that author. I'm going to try this book because obviously they liked it as well. Something that new adult authors love to do is bring in novellas to help supplement their work. A lot of them have started online, whether they were self-pubbed or what have you, and then their books garnered a lot of attention because, let's face it, we love new adult, and they got a publishing deal from that. Several of the new adult authors that are really popular out there actually started as young adult authors. So there's also that. There's like an automatic audience for them. They bring over a lot of their older young adult readers to their new adult books, and it's magical. It's wonderful. Let's face it, we love it. This is how the new adult books basically break down. You have a girl who is damaged in some way, whether it's physical, emotional, psychological, whatever. She's not perfect. She looks perfect, but she's not perfect. There are issues in her life. Generally, there's some sort of unrequited love. That's maybe like 50% of them, like half. The other half is where they hate the person, or they're not allowing people into their life, and the guy kind of like weasels his way in, and then they fall in love, and it's wonderful. Something else that new adult really loves to do is the whole good girl and bad guy thing. And musicians. Musicians are a big thing, so yeah. But there's always a romance. Always. So it just depends on which spectrum of new adult for what you get for that. But like, a lot of it is pretty much just, you know, issues, romance, issues, sex, issues that could potentially completely destroy the relationship, issues, sex. They fix the relationship, sex, maybe a baby. The end. That's how it goes. This, of course, is where the books that are trying to kind of stem off from the traditional layout of a new adult book come into play. So there are ones, mostly personally, I find, on Amazon where it's like paranormal, new adult, science fiction, new adult, and they try and go that way. They're picking up speed. A lot of them are free reads, so I get them, I read them, I really like them, I review them. And some of them even find publishing dreams later down in life. It happens. A lot of new adult books are not standalones. They're either going to be in a companion type series, a legitimate series within a companion series. Like, it's all about the series for the new adult. At least, usually, there's a minimum of a duology. That sometimes then just like explodes into more books. Personally, I love companion series type series. I love it in new adult. I love it in young adult. Sarah Dessen is like the queen of companion type series. Same with Stephanie Perkins. Stephanie Perkins more so integrates more of her characters from past books into her newer books. Sarah Dessen does the same things, but on a slightly smaller scale, and unless you're a huge fan, like not me, because I don't read them all the time, I never notice. New adult seems to take the spin where we're going to start with the two main characters in this book. Boy and girl, lots of drama, lots of sex, lots of issues that eventually, over the course of either the book or the series, get sorted out, but that is what you get. And then the companion books are going to be characters from within those books that get a main book of their own. That's how they like to do it. Regardless, you do have to know what you're going and getting into when you're reading new adult. If you are starting from young adult, it might be a bit of a surprise. I would suggest starting with books that kind of span the gap between new and young adult. There are a lot of them out there. I can do another video on some of them. Megan McCafferty's a good one. What is it? How to Love by, what is her name? I can't remember the author's name, but I'll put the author's name down here. I just read that one. It was awesome. It was great. It did duo perspective from the same character, but it was a before and an after. So it was like the before was more young adult and the after was more new adult. So you get kind of both. It was really good. I would suggest you start with those if you're not sure. If you have been reading like the Harlequin adult romances, new adult is just going to be fun. They are fun reads. A lot of times they do go on a deeper level, but I mean, like, I can just sit and speed through one because they are so good. They are very addicting, and yeah, they're just good, in my opinion. As far as it goes, it really just depends on what kind of drama you want to allow yourself to read. I highly, highly suggest you use both YouTube and Goodreads to check out any new adult books before you kind of step into and figure out what you want to read within new adult. There are a lot of amazing people out there on YouTube who have reviewed a lot of new adult books. There's a lot of really awesome book blogs out there. I do not suggest that you overlook them because a lot of them have been around for much longer than BookTube. So their repertoire is huge. They have a huge list of books they have reviewed. And there are many who are very focused on new adult and have been since new adult kind of emerged as an actual thing within the publishing world. Goodreads is also just something really great to have in your arsenal. Period. The fact that there are so many people who are giving so many different spectrums of the review for a book, it just makes it really nice to go in, get a feel of what people did and didn't like, and then make your own opinion. I mean, honestly, that's how I treat Goodreads, and that's that. So hopefully this video, long though it is, has enlightened you a bit to the new adult. If you're not really sure, if you're kind of tentative about starting reading new adult, you can really expect sex, drama, romance, drama, more sex, drama. There is usually more to the book as well. They do have great plot lines. They have fantastic characters, although the names are generally so bad sometimes. Like, so bad. You gotta get over that. I gotta get over that. But some of them are like, okay, Bliss is a bad name. It just is. Like, it's a stripper name. Let me know if you liked videos like this, if you've lasted until the very end, because as I'm looking at the counter right now, it's outrageously long. So I need to really edit this down and maybe even make it into 2 parts. That's always possible. It might come down to that. But honestly, there are so many awesome authors out there in new adult, and even if you have a favorite young adult author, a lot of them have been doing new adult books as well. So there's a good chance that there's an author out there who you really like who has new adult, and you would probably like their book as well. So you could go check it out. Yeah, reading is good. Go read. So until next time, guys, as always, happy reading. I now have to go myself and continue reading The Book Thief for class. That starts in like 3 weeks. I have an awesome class. I get to read The Book Thief. Like, who gets to read The Book Thief in university? Me, that's who. Yeah. So, happy reading, everybody. So, Losing It, we deal with, what's her name? Bliss. One of the worst names ever, by the way. Bliss.